Well, hello and welcome at DevOpsCon 2017 in Berlin. With me is Gianluca Arbezzano, site reliability engineer at InfluxData. So Gianluca, you had your first session about continuous delivery and Jenkins. And you said that Jenkins is still one of the most used tools in the industry. Why is it so successful?
Yeah, I think that now there are two kind of big area. One is the as a service kind of solutions that you can take, like CircleCI or Travis. But if you are kind of company that need to have everything running in on-premise in your data center or things like that, Jenkins is still the powerful and flexible tool that you can have. And I think that like 1 year ago, before then they released the version 2, they had some serious kind of leak in features, but now with the version 2 and Jenkins pipeline has code and the new UI, Blue Ocean UI, I think that they are in really good situation. They can stay stronger.
Okay, and which problems does Jenkins not solve, and what different technologies are there to solve those problems?
Well, I think that like the real big problem that like what I learned from following the Jenkins environment is the value of the breaking change. Like when a new application is releasing version 2 and is like breaking compatibility with the past, it's not something that happened with Jenkins, but I think that that's probably something that can help, because we have a lot of old plugins that are not working well as expected. That maybe was something to leave the past behind Jenkins 2. But yeah, I think that this is the unique point that I have not clear with the Jenkins strategy. But it's hard to say no to all the work that people did in the years.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah.
So your second session is about Docker and security. What is the biggest threat to running containers in development and in production?
Yeah, I think that like there are two main. The hardest one is probably the scheduling. Like we have a scheduler like Kubernetes or Docker Swarm, but all of them have some kind of gap. Some of them are too simple. Some others are too hard to keep up. Scheduling of containers is still something that we need to like solve, and maybe storage is also another. Like how we are going to manage files in the distributed environment is something that we are not really speaking that much about.
Mm-hmm. Are there any best practices you'd like to share with our audience regarding security and Docker?
Yeah, like we are adding like containers, and Docker is adding a new layer on top of what we already have. Like you can read off virtual machine and run only containers, but indefinitely is another application and another concept that we are adding in our infrastructure. Is adding complexity. It means that we need to be aware about what we are doing, but it's in the definition of containers. Containers are something that close your application in a jail, and the best stuff that you can do is use the container has all the container features that you have, like cgroup limitation, CPU and RAM limitation, or proper networking configuration. And yeah, you need to like be aware that it's not just a way to ship stuff, but there are features that come with the container itself that can be used, and they are there. AppArmor or Selinux are there, and you need to use them, not just take containers because they're cool.
Okay, and as a last question, what can we expect concerning the container technology in the future?
I like the idea. Like I'm going to like it's not just about containers, but containers are making all our environment more flexible, and we have more instances of our application that are running. It means a lot of data and analytics data that we are taking. My expectation is that we are going to use that data in a better way, and maybe run some, big data analysis to understand how our traffic is behaving, how our application is working, and maybe use automation to balance these containers in a better way. It's related to scheduling, but it's more like use all the data and information that containers are creating to do something in a better way.
Okay, as a very last question, because I'm personally interested in that. Do you think that there will be a unified container?
Yeah, a standard for containers.
Standard, right.
Yeah, I think that we already are reaching a good layer of interoperability. The OCI standard and the build, that all the images are like pretty standard now. Rocket is a tool that can be provided by CoreOS that can run above other stuff. Docker is releasing is working on Containerd, and Kubernetes is managing the integration with CRI, that is the project that comes from OpenShift. Is like it do the same stuff that Docker does, but it's like from OpenShift kind of environment. And there are these two prerequisites that are going together. It means that Kubernetes is going to be able to run Containerd and these other tools. And yeah, I think that we are working in a good way. All the companies, all the big players are making some work to join force. That's good.
All right, then thanks Gianluca,
Thank you.
Thanks for watching.